The best type of revenue is recurring revenue. And if you're a fan of online business, I am, it's having your own membership site. And I've been working on one for the last several months. And to help me out, I've incorporated one of my old friends. He has probably helped thousands of entrepreneurs develop their own membership sites. And coming this weekend, he's opening up his training called Tribe. His name is Stu McLaren, and you'll get to meet him on this episode of Bootstrap MD. Hey guys, it's Dr. Mike Boumeng. Welcome to another edition of Bootstrap MD. This is the podcast for physician entrepreneurs. And I'm so excited, a special treat. I've actually had two people on my bucket list for the last year to get on my podcast. One was Dr. Fauci, and he's kind of a little bit busy, so I understand. And the next one is this gentleman. I've known him for such a long time. And if you are currently subscribed to a membership site, most likely the creator of that membership site probably learned from this gentleman. He has been working intimately with tens of thousands of authors, speakers, coaches, consultants, and business owners, transforming what they know, love, and do into recurring revenue for the past 12, 15 years. Stu, how long have you been doing this?
Since 2008. So yeah, quite a while.
2008. He's the founder of the Tribe, which is a once a year course. It teaches anyone how to build membership sites to secure recurring revenues in their business. It's happening right now. And we're going to talk more about Tribe and how to get on and a special webinar that's coming up. But first of all, Stu McLaren, thank you for joining me on this program.
Dude, it's so great to see you, man. I'm thrilled to be here and glad that we could reconnect.
Awesome. And I know right now you're going through a launch. I'm going through a launch myself. And one of them is a membership site. So I said, why not go to the master himself, the one who pretty much, I think, created this term membership sites. And I was actually looking back. I mentioned just before we got on the call that I was looking back when we first corresponded. It was around that 2007 when you were working with some guy named Russell Brunson. I don't know whatever happened to that guy, but wherever he is, I hope he's doing well. But you have been tremendous. I've heard from a lot of I work with a lot of physician entrepreneurs. They've learned from you about building their membership sites. And, there's so much to talk about. You're also one of the most giving people I know in terms of your charities that you've done with Village Impact. And how many schools have you been building in Kenya? What are you up to now? I'm just curious.
I got to give the credit to my wife. She's the visionary on that, for sure. But, we've now built 14 schools educating more than 5,000 plus kids over in Kenya. And it's just, this is why we do what we do. You know what I mean? It's like the more money we make, the more impact we can have and the more good we can do. So this is why I love entrepreneurship. This is why I love, being able to make money because, again, we're just stewards of it. When we make it, we can give it and we can have a far greater impact.
Well, again, Stu, I've known you for so long. I don't even know where to begin, but I guess we'll start from the beginning. My podcast goes to physician entrepreneurs, healthcare entrepreneurs. They don't really know what a membership site is all about. Maybe you can first explain to us, what is a membership site?
Yeah, well, for me, back in the days when, you and I met, I had a very successful, consulting business. I was providing, consulting for many high-level clients. And it was a great business, but the problem with it was that the only way to grow it was to give more of my time. And quite frankly, I just didn't have any more time to give. And I had just gotten married to my lovely wife, Amy, and we were thinking of starting a family. And what I realized was that if I wanted to be a present husband and father, like something had to change in the business because I was working, burning the candle at both ends, and there was no room to grow from that point. So that's when our, mutual friend, Armin Morin, one of my mentors, he said to me, he's like, Stu, you should create a membership. And I was like, well, what's a membership? And he said, well, basically you take what you're teaching, your clients and helping your clients with, And instead you teach it once, and now you can serve and help hundreds, thousands, and there's no limits on the number of people that you can help. And I was like, So that's for me where it all began. And long story short, like I, struggled with the tech and trying to figure all that out. I'm not, too technical. And then I was on the phone with another friend of ours, Tracy Childers. And he said to me, he's like, well, why don't you just create your own solution? And I was like, dude, are you hearing anything that I'm saying? Like, I am not good with tech. Like, I'm not going to be able to program something. And he said, well, why don't we team up and create something? He said, I have a program that I've been working with for years who's really great. And we did. And we ended up creating the world's #1 membership platform for WordPress. And we went on to power tens of thousands of online communities and memberships. In fact, when I sold my shares in the company, we were powering over 70,000 online communities and memberships. And being behind the scenes on that is where I saw what the sites that were doing, that were growing year over year, what they were doing differently than everybody else. And that's who I paid attention to. And ultimately, those best practices I applied to my own memberships, launching 6- and 7-figure memberships. And that's when people started asking, like, how are you doing this? And that's when I started teaching. And we've now helped literally tens of thousands of business owners in all kinds of markets, from photography and calligraphy to fitness and finance and music and art and health and parenting and doctors and so many different markets and niches that it's been absolutely amazing. And the reality of it is a membership is whereby people are paying you on a monthly basis to receive access to something, and or to receive advice about something, and or to get something sent to them. So, case in point, like whether we realize it or not, their memberships are all around us. Like Amazon Prime, that's a membership. We pay an annual fee for that, and we get certain benefits of that. Netflix, that's a membership. We pay every month for that, and we get the benefit of accessing all of these TV shows and movies. Spotify, we pay a monthly fee, we get access to music. Peloton, we pay a monthly fee, we get access to all the classes. Like, we can go on and on. Disney Plus is another big one, right? Like, and they shifted away from, just selling movies off, and now they sell a subscription to all the movies and shows. And so we can do the same thing. And there are different types of memberships. There's a product-based membership where we pay on a monthly basis and we get something in return. Like Dollar Shave Club would be a great example of that. There are service-based memberships whereby people pay on a monthly basis. They get access to a service. I think of Mary Claire Fredette. She's a massage therapist. Instead of hoping that clients come back and do business with her, she sold a membership. And now she gets paid every single month with the certainty of knowing that she's going to get paid by those customers and clients. And then they get access to, however many massages. There's a knowledge-based membership where we take what we know, love, and do, and we're sharing it with others, and people are paying for access to that. And then there's community-based memberships where we bring in people who have a shared interest together, and they're paying for access to be able to belong to that community. So lots of different ways to do it. And it really doesn't matter what type of business that you have. It's just about shifting your thinking away from the old way of doing business, which is a one-time transaction and hoping that people come back, and shifting towards a more stable, predictable business where we know with certainty that they're coming back.
Remember when you could practice medicine on your own terms? What if you could take control of your physician career, make more money while working smarter, not harder? Pick up your copy of The Positioned Physician. Earn more, work smart, and love medicine again. Now updated for 2021, The Positioned Physician details one doctor's journey from burnt-out employee to successful entrepreneur. Whether you are in residency, in mid-career, or close to retirement, after reading The Positioned Physician, you'll gain the knowledge that can strategically impact your doctor life. The Positioned Physician, now available on Amazon Kindle and paperback.
Wow, just so tremendous. It's funny. We talked about, our friend Tracy Childers, and I remember your email. It used to be known as the idea guy.
That's right.
I can just imagine going, I'm the idea guy. You're the implement. You need to figure this out. So there's a lot of misconceptions I think about membership sites. And I'm just thinking back, way back when we were just young kids, and how difficult it was to actually have a membership. What do you think has changed in terms of memberships, in terms of like maybe the ease of being on a membership site? Because, even before you and Tracy had that platform, it was pretty difficult to actually have a membership site.
Dude, that's the thing that almost stalled me. Like I was dealing with things like HT access files and server settings. And I'm like, what the heck is this? This is not, but the technology itself 100% has improved tenfold, and it's certainly made it so much easier. But, one of the things that I always like to talk about here, Dr. Mike, is just really, it's about a mindset too, because we can make it as complex or as simple as we want. And my recommendation is in the beginning, I err on the side of simplicity first, because that's the thing that's going to create momentum. And I'll give you an example. So Cheryl Hatch is somebody in our community who was completely freaked out by the technology. And it was the thing that was stopping her and preventing her from moving forward with her membership idea. So she asked herself a powerful question. This is one I encourage everybody to write down. She asked herself, how can I keep this super simple? How can I keep this super simple? Now, for her, she knew that she was comfortable with like a Facebook group and she was comfortable with email. So her membership consisted of a Facebook group, and then she delivered the content for the membership via email each week. And she did this for 2 years and welcomed more than 600 paying members with just a simple Facebook group and delivering it via email. So she did this for 2 years before she ever thought about creating a members area. And my point of the matter is that we can make it as complex or as simple as we choose. And my recommendation is keep it simple in the beginning. That's the thing that's going to help you get going. And most importantly, gain momentum. And when you've got momentum, then you can add things later on down the road, but keep it simple in the beginning and get the momentum rolling.
Now, you mentioned complexity is probably a big misconception people have about membership sites. What are the things that you studied all these different membership sites? What are the other bigger misconceptions that we may not know about? I know, for one example, most people who I've heard the rumor that you have to have 3 or 6 months of content before you can even launch a membership site. I'm sure you've heard that too. But are there other misconceptions that you may that you've learned?
Well, certainly, definitely around content. Like as you said, the misconception is you got to have a whole bunch of content before you get started. Not true. We teach a process called the founding member launch, where you don't actually even need to have anything created yet. And the benefit of this is that you're engaging with your audience and you're, seeing whether the interest is there before you go and spend a whole lot of time, energy, and money in creating anything. And the reality of it is in that, you are able to get out of the gates right from the get-go. And I think of like Anna Saucier. So she's in the infertility market. And she didn't have a big audience of tens of thousands or thousands. She had 326 people, infertility practitioners that she was helping and serving. And so she did a Facebook post following this process that we talk about with the founding member launch. And it essentially invites people to come and join the membership without it being created. So you're managing expectations, saying it's just an idea, but here's where I see it going. And if you want to come join as a founding member, I'll extend to you the founding member price, which is going to be way lower than what it will be when we launch to the general public. So people, they want to be part of it to get in as that founding member. They get in at the ground floor, and they also help shape the direction that membership goes. So she did this. She made this offer. She generated $5,024 in the first 24 hours. Again, she didn't have a huge audience for this. Or I think of like Faye Cornhill, who's over in the UK. Same thing. She didn't have a huge audience. She had 77 people, Dr. Mike, 77, not like tens of thousands or thousands, not even hundreds, 77 people. And 10 of them, said yes at 500 pounds. They paid for the year in full. And that was 5,000 pounds right out of the gate to be able to begin gaining momentum. Or I think of Kelly Cairns. She's helped people with WordPress. That was her market. Didn't have a huge audience. 59 people in her audience, 59. And 29 of those people said yes to becoming founding members. And here's the thing. In the beginning, we often underestimate how much value we have with what it is that we know. And with a smaller audience, you have a unique advantage that people with a big audience don't have. They have separate advantages, but you, with a smaller audience, you have the unique advantage of building a more intimate relationship with that audience. And as a result, you're going to see much higher conversion rates. So bottom line is you can 100% get started without creating a whole bunch of content. Another big misconception is that you got to provide a ton of content ongoing. And oh my gosh, I'm going to be stuck on this content treadmill. And oh, it's going to be like another job. Wrong. Bottom line is that the number one reason that people cancel from a membership is overwhelm. It's not that they don't value the information or don't value you. It's that they're overwhelmed by the sheer volume of information. So this is the key. The success in the membership is not about the value doesn't come from the volume of information we provide. The value comes from the your members' ability to implement what it is that we provide. And so less is actually best when it comes to a membership, and most importantly, helping your members make progress. And if they make progress and they're happy, they're going to stay. And that's when the profitability of a membership soars.
You've seen so many different membership sites. So I got to know, what was the most surprising niche? And I go, we have, I know there's a translation here issue, a little spoiler, he is Canadian. So it's niche or niche, right? That's like, potato. What's the most surprising niche you've seen with a membership site that was successful in making money?
All kinds. It's absolutely unbelievable. Like I was just talking to Tamara Bennett. Okay. So Tamara, she launched her membership site. She welcomed 400 monthly paying members right from the get-go. She teaches people how to paint decorative door hangers. And I was like, Tamara, I'm like, what is is that like, at the hotel room when you put the sign on the outside says, do not serve? She's like, oh no, Stu. She said, here down in the South, she said, instead of putting like a wreath on the door, we have like a decorative door hanger. And I was like, oh, wow. And now she's grown that membership over the last 3 years from 400 to nearly 2,000 monthly paying members, a decorative door hanger. Last year was awesome. I got to meet Holly George, and Holly George, she helps people with balloon animals, creating balloon animals out of the balloons. And anyway, she launches her membership site, and she's a mom with 2 young kids. And she was just looking for something to do, on the side. Her husband's in the Air Force. So, he's away a lot. So she was just looking for something to do on the side while she could still be a mom, to the kids. Well, long story short, this membership takes off. She's generating over $7,500 a month, teaching people how to make balloon animals. And then this year, I just marvel at all these different markets. But this year I met Courtney Lim, and Courtney, she got a new puppy, and the breeder said, can you send us some pictures as the puppy grows up? And she said, you know what? I'll do one better. I'll create an Instagram account just for the dog so you can follow. So she did. And then, friends and family follow. And then all of a sudden, like hundreds of people are following, and then thousands of people. And then next thing you know, she's got more than 10,000 plus people following this Instagram account for her dog. And then she had like brands reaching out who wanted to do brand deals. And then she had people asking her, like, how are you growing this Instagram account for your dog? And the idea was planted. This should be a membership. And so she created a membership. She's got hundreds of people in the membership learning how to be pet influencers. What the heck? I had no idea. But anyway, she was generating enough that she left her full-time job as a school counselor to focus 100% on growing this business. So whether it's decorative door hangers or, animal balloons or, becoming a pet influencer, it's unbelievable the markets that can be served.
Yeah. Don't disregard these pet influencers. I'm owning 2 pets myself. That I spent a lot of money on pets, so who knows? That could be a 9-figure business. I know you got only a short amount of time left. You got a webinar coming up, and tell us about Tribe. What is it all about? And maybe what they can learn in the webinar and about your course.
Yeah, well, I'd encourage you for sure for everybody to come and join us for the webinar. The bottom line is that over the past 12, 13 years, I've literally been in the trenches working with tens of thousands of people in all kinds of markets. And what I've identified are those characteristics that of the sites that are growing year over year over year. And what we've done is we've taken that and we've boiled it down into 5 key areas. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about, during the webinar. What are those areas? You'll be equipped to know exactly what they are and how to move forward with a membership. And the bottom line is that the Tribe experience, this is where it's an immersive experience where we take you through the process. If you're in the early stages and don't really have an audience yet, no problem, because you don't need to grow a big audience. As we said, just a couple hundred people, and that'll happen much faster than you may think when you follow what we're teaching. And so, or if you've already got an audience, amazing. Or if you've got a membership and it's flatlined and now you're looking to take it to the next level, we'll show you these best practices, how to apply them, and most importantly, how to gain momentum with your membership. And I'm passionate about this, Dr. Mike, now more than ever, because the last year, I mean, it's just shown that we just never know what's going to happen. And my heart is heavy for all entrepreneurs whose worlds have been turned upside down. But what I know for sure is that those who had recurring revenue in their business did not experience anywhere near the stress or uncertainty than those who did not. This is why I'm passionate about this, because I know the blood, sweat, and tears that get poured into growing a business. And this is why I want to bring this information to as many business owners as possible, because of the difference it can make. It's not about the membership. It's about what the membership makes possible. That's what we're going to show you how to do during the webinar. And I hope everybody comes and joins us.
Stu, again, I know you got to go. Thank you for sharing your time with us. We'll have the link here to go to the webinar and know more about it. Thank you again, Stu McLaren. Thanks for joining us on the podcast
Dr.
today.
Mike, you're a gem as always, buddy. Thanks.
All right. Take care. All right. I hope you guys liked that interview with Stu McLaren. If you want to check out his webinar, go to this website, bootstrapmd.com/go/tribe. That's bootstrapmd.com/go/tribe. Get you access to the webinar. If you get to the link and it's not available, it's actually going to roll into his actual training course, Tribe. So whenever you listen to this, go to that website, you get all the information you'll need. So thanks again, guys, and as always, keep moving forward.